What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Garage Topics. Today's episode, we're getting safe, we're getting secure, we're making sure no thugs are coming in this garage or anywhere near the vicinity. I've got a sick, awesome security system that I want to review and do an open box system and go through the whole setup of it and actually show you how it works, because we got some merchandise in here we do not want going anywhere. All right, so the folks at ONWOTE reached out to me saying, hey, you've got a sick garage in progress and we want to make sure it's safe. And lo and behold, I wanted to make sure it's safe too. And this garage is still almost finished, so there's a bunch of mess everywhere, but perfect time to install the security system. So I went with a 4K wired security system. So this ONWOTE has 4 cameras. It's got its own unit, so it has continual recording. It can push to its own cloud. I've got some wireless ones that I've got from Amazon right now, and they're kind of finicky and they just rely on batteries. These are hardwired and will be able to have better visibility at night and in day. And I'll be able to actually use these for some recording as well. So this is great. So let's open this up and see what this is all about. Oh yeah. Bam! We don't need that one. Boom! This box is rather nice. Let's see what's open up in here. All right. All right, here come the dreams. Ah! Man, this is nicely packaged in here. All right, so we got the instructions. I'm a man who needs these, just kidding. We probably should look at those. We've got a bunch of 4 60-foot Ethernet things. And transparency, I've already ran one of these through the garage. I'll more on that later. And then we've got the actual cameras themselves. There's 4 of them. Then there's the actual unit underneath. So I'll open up one of these right now and we'll take a look at it. And boom, here's the camera itself. Man, this is not plastic, this is metal. This is actually very nice. And it's got these lights on here as well. So when it senses motion, it will actually be able to throw a light out here as well, which is rather neat. And like, you got all the weatherproof type connections. Again, I'm rather impressed of how nicely constructed this is. This is not cheap plastic, this is nice metal. It's got a speaker here so you can actually talk to the people or talk to your family, because let's be real, it's mostly what we're going to be doing this for. And I believe this base unscrews, which will allow us to install it, and you can reposition it however you want. Yeah, this is the base that will install it on a soffit probably, or you can install it to a wall and then that'll just lock in here. Got this box here. What's in here? Oh, this is just the power cable for the actual unit itself, and then the unit here is nicely packaged as well. It's like a DVD player, a hard drive kind of situation. So this is going to hook up to all the cameras because this is a wired system. So I think you've got up to 8 potential cameras. We're only going to run 4. Then you got your power and HDMI, so you can run a separate screen if you want to, or you can just look at it over the cloud. But this is where all of the cameras are going to connect to. I've decided I'm going to put this inside my house just based on the layout of this garage, but this is rather nice. To my knowledge, the hardest part of this install is actually going to be running these wires. This garage, because I have the vaulted ceilings, almost has no attic, so it's a pain to get up in here. So what I've decided is that since this garage is so close to my house, I'm going to put them in the soffit of the house, because my house is a like 10-foot ceiling tall attic, so I can walk around and they're just fine. I am running one in the garage, so I've already ran that line in one of my existing conduits from the house into the garage. I had a separate Ethernet one for internet, now I'm running one for a camera. That way we'll be able to have filming going on 24/7 in here, and if anything weird happens here, like something falls over, I'll have it on footage. So we ran that, but let me show you where the other ones are going to run to. All right, I'm at my laundry room right now. This house was actually built in 2020, 2021, so it's pretty new, and it actually has its own like Ethernet hub in our laundry room. If you have an older house, you just have to run some fish tape like here through a wall and up into the attic if you wanted to. Most of the walls on the interior don't have insulation, but thankfully I already had this here. So these all run to separate rooms in the house for the internet itself, but I actually had a rope already existing to run additional things through it. So what I've done is I've this fish tape that I got from Harbor Freight for like 10 bucks. I attached to the rope and pulled it up, so this fish tape is in the attic. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go and take some of my Ethernet cable in the attic and draw it back down, because one end's gonna connect to the box that we're gonna install somewhere over here. And then also the other end's gonna attach to the camera through the attic. Welcome to my attic. I wasn't kidding, it's very tall. That's 8 foot right here. So these are like 10, 11 foot tall ceilings. It's a lot easier to move around. Here's a bunch of junk, but excuse the lighting. Down here is what I was referring to. There was rope already ran up here, or the Ethernet's actually underneath this wood, but I pulled the rope up through and had the fish tape connected to it from the mudroom, and look, here we are. We've got the fish tape in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach one end of the Ethernet cable to it. I might actually try and run 2 at the same time. I'm gonna pull it down, and that way we'll have this in the laundry room, and then the rest of it will be up here so that we can run it to the soffit. So where that lighting's at right there is probably where we will run it to. That's the soffit, and the camera will sit outside, and the garage is literally right here. All right, I've ran all the wires and cables. Thankfully this house has made it easy, but got 3 coming up here from up in the attic, and I've got 1 coming from down below, which is coming from the garage. I've only got 1 camera hooked up right now, which is the one in the garage, and it's just temporary, but I've got them all plugged into this unit here, and so I'm eventually gonna mount it all up here, and I'll share that when I'm done, but for now, we'll take a look. So here's the unit. It's gonna sit right here, and then all we need to do is plug it in, and I think we can get away with it long term, not having a screen, but I probably will, but you do need to hook up a HDMI cable or whatever screen, so I've just pulled a screen from my office, and all that's left to do is we're gonna just plug it in with the cable that we got, and we'll see what happens. All right, made a beep. Something's looking good. This actually came with a mouse as well. I've already plugged it in. Okay, so it looks like got a mouse here. I'll just operate it from up here, but looks like stuff is turning on. Look, all right, we're all set up here. Look at this. So through the setup, we'll set English because that's what we're speaking right now. I think there is a password of admin and a login of admin, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll verify that in a second. All right, well, we've got this one hooked up. I know that it works. I literally just have it sitting in there, so obviously that's not a good angle. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the rest of them because I've already done almost all the work of running all the lines up to the attic and through the crawl space. Set them up, and then we'll come back and take a look at this. Right side of the garage, and I mentioned that I was going to mount the cameras on the house, so I'll show you 2. I've got a third one, and because I got 3, 2 outside, 1 inside the garage, I got a third camera left. I don't know where I'm going to mount it at, but I'm going to wait for later. Here we go. This camera here is the main one that I have looking at the outside of the garage. You can see the cable running up to the soffit. I ended up mounting on the walls easier. I had a camera there before, so just covered up the holes. And this camera has a great view, which I'll show you in a second, but it basically just overlooks the whole garage. So fantastic. Let me show you the one out front. All right, there's the front of my house, front door, and I've got this bad boy mounted up here. Again, you see the cable just pops up, runs into the attic. I'm gonna come back with some spray foam in the attic so that makes sure no bugs come through at all, but installation was really easy, and it's got a great view at the front to make sure no crazies are coming up the driveway. So we've got at least 2 of the cameras fully installed. I got the one in the garage, and I'm gonna mount in a different spot and get better footage from here on out. So there'll be a lot more footage from that camera coming to the channel, basically every video here on out. So I'm pretty excited about that. You saw me set up in the mudroom with the TV, the computer screen. I'm not gonna do that because there's an app on your phone, and there's also a way to access it on the desktop on your computer. So let me show you the phone. I'm gonna show you a couple straight from my phone, and then I'm also gonna cut to some screenshots and clips of what's going on because it's great. It really does a good job of detecting what's going on. The front yard that we were just looking at, you can clearly see it's live going on, and then you can just scroll through the screens. It's great. There's me on camera. There's the driveway. There's the front, and if I added up to 8, I could just swipe through them all. What's really cool is how well this does looking at night. It has like this night vision thing that goes on, and also the spotlight that comes from it. Whenever it detects motion, it shows a really big spotlight, which is a great theft deterrent, and really, honestly, nice for me to be able to see the driveway when I'm walking up. The great thing is that it has like human or movement detection, so it will show this red box around a human or an object, etc., and it'll record it. And so the great thing about that, having that hard box and the lines running to it, is that it's constantly recording. So I can look back whenever I want. On the timeline, there'll be a mark as far as when the camera noticed some change or movement, and you can pinpoint that exact moment. And you can also select which type of movements or type of notifications you want to show on that timeline. So it's great. Really happy with this, like I mentioned. Like I wouldn't share stuff on this channel if I didn't really believe in it. And so far I'm really, really impressed with this system. Links in the description if you want to go take a look at it or just learn more about it. Definitely give it a check. And if you're thinking about security system, I think this one's hard to beat. All right, well that's all I got. I got more work to do in the garage because you see it's a mess. I'm getting close to having this more finished. You'll see in the more videos coming up, you'll see updates, etc. But really excited to be in here and make more videos and start cranking them out for you guys. So if you like the content, give it a like, subscribe, it really helps me out. If you got any questions about the security system or this garage, drop a comment below or send me a message on Facebook and Instagram, Garage Topics. If you like feeling fresh, follow me, you know. And if you don't, well, I'm sorry to hear that. So that's all I got. Catch you guys later. Peace out.